What is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at DOT or Polkadot, and it's currently crashing down a tiny bit along with the entire market. So we have Bitcoin down roughly 4% and altcoins down anywhere from 8 to 15%. So a quite tough day today on Monday here in the markets, mostly due to some political issues in the east. However, I think everything will be resolved soon, and I think this is just sort of in effect to that. We even have the S&P down 0.5%, and the entire economy is just slightly falling down. So nothing to really worry about here. Obviously crypto is a lot more volatile, and altcoins are double as volatile as Bitcoin, as you can see here. So this is to be expected, very normal moves. Again, we also expected Bitcoin to really see some sort of retracement here, even though we saw this huge wick candle, which was more sort of a liquidity event. Now we're actually getting a slight consolidation downwards, so it's good to see. It's a healthy move. All altcoins and every coin should really be seeing a move down like this, just to be able to reaccumulate. So yeah, it's quite a good move to see, even though it might not feel like it in your portfolio. However, that will allow for us to get some good buying opportunities. Now, in the previous video, we were talking about potentially accumulating at this area right here. So if you did manage to get in a buy order right here, congratulations, it's been hit. Obviously, you're going to be slightly down now, but again, we always talk about multiple entry points. So in case this does happen, we now are able to have our second entry point right here, which should be hit quite easily. I think this is going to be an inevitable move down to here, so that's going to be roughly another 8%. So I think that's what we can expect this week. I think it's going to be quite a red week, unless towards the latter part of the week something really picks up. So that's something that we can be looking at. Another thing to remember is Bitcoin dominance. Now, luckily Bitcoin dominance isn't surging, so altcoins are obviously down, but as long as Bitcoin dominance isn't surging like it was previously, it means that there's still a lot of control being held by altcoins and just the market in general, meaning that when Bitcoin does eventually start going back up, and even if dominance stays the same or even drops slightly, that altcoins should see that rebound very well. Now, another thing to remember is always after any sort of downward move or even an upward move, the very first coin to move is always Bitcoin, and we'll see Bitcoin see the first crash, and then altcoins and Ethereum, or usually Ethereum follows, and then the altcoins will follow, and the same goes for an upward move. So altcoins will usually lag quite a bit behind Bitcoin once we see that upward move. But again, that's all to be expected, and if you want to catch some sort of trade quite early, then I'd recommend watching Bitcoin and seeing how it reacts to this level here at 89,000, or even we can be potentially using this area right here at 91 to 93,000. So we have a few key areas to watch here on Bitcoin, and once you see a rebound starting to occur with break of structures, change of characters, fair value gaps, order blocks being created, then you can start to look for an entry point, not necessarily on Bitcoin, but even on altcoins like Polkadot here. So what can we expect for Polkadot during this week? Well, we talked a bit about it. Probably going to be quite a red week. We have had so many green weeks and green days for the past 2 months. A bit of red isn't going to harm us too much, and in fact it will just give us more buying opportunities. So in the midst of this red box right here, we're going to try and find another entry point. Again, it depends whether you're a short-term or long-term trader. Now, if you're either, you should definitely join the Discord down below, because we're sending out stellar trades in there every single day. You can see on the screen right now just how much our trades are crushing in the market, so make sure to join up so you don't miss out on those. But yeah, it depends if you're a long-term or short-term trader. If you're a short-term trader, then you're going to be targeting slightly lower targets. Probably if you enter here, you're going to be targeting somewhere around $9.94. The absolute max you'd be targeting is going to be roughly $11.94, just below $12, I'd say. So that's some short-term gains, roughly 35 to 15%. With a bit of leverage, you're going to be looking at at least a 2 to 3 4x. Now, with no leverage and longer term positions, again, we're still trying to dollar cost average in, but we're targeting slightly higher targets at like $15, where we're getting 80% profit, even at like $23, where we're going to be targeting 170% profit. So either way, it's going to be quite profitable, and you can even do both if you really wish. However, when we're coming onto the lower time frame and shorter term trades, we need to really get a pinpoint entry. So we're going to be coming down into the 1 hour, the 15-minute time frame to really get that precise entry, as we're going to have a stop loss, which will negatively affect the trade, because if we get into a bit of drawdown, we always risk the stop loss being hit, and with spot that's really not an issue. So that's one thing we're going to have to keep an eye out for. Now again, if the political issues possess further, then it'll affect the market severely, and that's something that we can't really predict. So you're going to be having to watch the news as well and everything like that, to see how everything progresses further. But overall, I think once it sort of settles down and the news sort of dies down a bit and stops informing us as much about it, I think the market will go back to normal. Another thing we also have to look forward to is in January, when Trump actually gets put into office. I think that will spark another green day. There's not really much hype building around it yet, but obviously when the news hits, it's going to be on all major news outlets. You're going to see it everywhere, and I think that will drive a large spark of hype to bring into Bitcoin and the entire market. So I think that will be another green day. So if you want to start planning for that now, I'd highly recommend it. I think that will be a good day, to really have trades set. So yeah, again, we can start to look for entries here, and dollar cost averaging if we do go lower, like even down to $7.70 or $6.70, and just be holding until that date when the entire market spikes. That's when we could look to sell. So that's another strategy that you could try and maintain. Now if you did enjoy the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Again, if you want to be getting trades sent to you every single day, check out the Discord down below. We're crushing it there day in and day out. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade crypto like DOT or any other coin, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye guys.